and welcome to my Facebook Live this afternoon. I'm just checking that I'm set up correctly in the right place. Make sure my sound is off on the other screen and everything is in view. Okay, so thank you for joining me. Do pop a comment in the comment field if you're watching. Always interested to know what people think about the makes that I put on here, and I will, if the comments come up, I will obviously be able to say hello. Okay, so this is the card we're making today. This one has been planned. Finally got round to planning something. It's the Pretty Florals set from the new catalogue. One of my favourite, yes, it's flowery, but it's actually one of my favourite sets because it's so bright and just lovely, really. And it's a take on this. It's not exactly this, but it's my take on this idea, almost like making a envelope. And I've used, see, I'm using this stamp set here, but I have also used, let me just find it, the party banner dies. So they're here. It's another great way of using these dies. So again, which are one of my big favourites for this catalogue, along with those big alphabet letters, and they will stay in my stash for many years to come. Okay, so it's what do you call that? An easel? I don't know. It's an easel fold card. This is the inside, just a little bit of decoration. Really quite effective. So, first things first is the card base. And this is 11.5 inches by 4, scored in the middle at 5 3/4. In centimetres, I can give you most of that off the top of my head, but not all of it. Okay, so it's 29.2 centimetres long by 10.1, and then it's scored at 14.5. Bear with me a moment, I'm just going to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, then we've got a standard white layer for the inside, which is 3 3/4 by 5.5, or 3, and I've got it written down. 3 3/4 is 9.5 centimetres by 14 centimetres. Let's just pop those to one side for a moment. Then we have a banner. I'm just trying to get the banner dies to hand. It's slightly smaller than the one. This one I used a bigger die and then I cut it down. I think this time I've used this one. Yeah, so it's slightly smaller, but it will fit on there perfectly fine. And then I've also used this tiny one, the smallest one, for this little tag. So that's the dies. On the card that I've already made, I used this embossing folder, which I think is quite nice. Sort of, I don't know, maybe like a baskety type. But I think on this one I'm going to use this swirly embossing folder, just for a different effect. Oh, can't get it out the bag. Hang on a minute. Okay, so yeah, so it'll just give it a bit of a different effect. Okay, first of all, I'm going to take this, and you can cut it wherever really. You can have it as, this one's quite high up. Could cut it a bit less, but it's, yeah. You want it, you don't want it too, right, so I think that'll be about right. So I'm cutting it at the 3.5 inch. Okay, so this one's going to be a tiny bit lower, but not a lot, and it will fit on there quite nicely. So I'm just going to run this through, run it through the embossing folder. Let me just do that, just trying to put it in where I want it roughly. Okay. For some reason okay. So while that says a 3D, oh no it doesn't, it says so swirly. That's my my mistake. I thought it's not as thick as the other one. So there, it's not a 3D embossing folder, so I needed the shim with it. So that's just gonna glue onto there. Now you can do it either way. You can use your multi-purpose glue, which I did the first time round, or we can use some tear and tape and just decide which side you want to put it on, and it is just literally popping it round on these 3 sides, basically creating a little pocket. Just take that off. Okay, so as you can see, we've created a little pocket. I'm just gonna burnish that fold. Okay, I quite like it like with that actually. It's quite a nice look. I have done lots of die cutting and stamping already, but I'm just going to do some stamping just to show you the just really to show you how these stamps line up, hopefully anyway. I've got Gorgeous Grape for the I don't know what they are. Do you know what these are? Is it, I'm not very good with the names of flowers. I just, these, don't know what they are, but they're nice. So I'm gonna just stamp off. Say I'm not going to do all of these because I've already got them all cut off. So I've stamped that in Gorgeous Grape, stamped off, so it's the second generation. And then I'm going to just stamp this again in, this is the outline bit, in Gorgeous Grape, but fully inked. And as you can see, it just gives it a bit of a line detail. That one's probably not the best stamp. So I've done them in Gorgeous Grape. Then we have the Strawberry Slush, and it's quite a dark colour, and you could use that and then stamp with another colour on top, but again I've stamped off so we get the second generation as the background. And this, there's some little V's, or little V there and one at the top, and there they line up slightly off because I'm not looking at it overhead, but you get the idea. And then we've got I'll keep that for a minute because I will need that in a second. Then we've got like a little daisy, I think it is, daisy type thing, and again I'm gonna stamp off, and then the inside bit, very technical, I'm doing in the second generation, sorry, the first generation. So it's stamp off first of all to do the background, and then full ink for the lined detail. Okay, well I've got some ink out, I'm going to just do the inside bit. On this one I've done, as you can see, I've partly stamped, in Strawberry Slush. Let's see if I can line this up better. Okay, it's not too bad. And then for sentiment, I've got the beautiful butterflies, and I just used the happy birthday from there through in the middle. I'm going to try and get it somewhat straight. Okay, so that's the middle part. We'll just pop that up there for a minute. And then we've got our little label. And again, I've used the strawberry slush. Stamped off. And then the first generation, just like so. And again, I've gone back to the beautiful butterflies. There's a small for you stamp. Which one up the right way. And then I've just popped it at an angle. Like so. So that's all of the stamping that I'm going to demonstrate, simply because it's, there's quite a few different bits, and I didn't think you'd want to sit there while I stamped everything and die cut it all. This is my crocodile punch. You could use any hole punch. There is also in the banner dies, there is little holes in there. Okay, so we'll pop that out of the way. We'll need this in a minute. So I'll show you the dies that I've used. We've got lots of different bits. So these are the flower dies, and then I've die cut various stems and leaves. I've also this time die cut this one, so it's quite a few different. Oh, and this, no, yeah, no, it's that one. Okay, so as you can see, I have 2 yellow, 3 in the purple, 3 in the pinky colour, and then I've got this mishmash here of die cut leaves. And I've got some in, this is garden green, some little bits in old olive, not lots. I can always cut some more if I decide I need them. These are like individual stems, and then that's more of a group. I probably would have to cut a couple more individual stems, but that's fine. So first of all, before sticking anything down, I just sort of pop these roughly where I wanted them to be. And while obviously that is sticking up out the way, you will cover that as you go on and you build the flowers, so you won't see that. This one will be at the front with these on. That's the purple one, so I need to cut another one of these, I think, which I will just quickly do. Oops. That one there, bear with me. And I'll just chuck everything around. So I'm just going to pop that out. I had a good tidy up yesterday, so at the moment things are looking really quite tidy. It won't last long because my desk never stays tidy. Right, so we're going to stick these. First of all, I stuck it up that way, and I suppose you could stick it that way, but then I think they actually go up that way. I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of glue onto those leaves. See, I'm doing it again. And sticking those ones down. Turn it over so that they can dry. Then this one, these have actually got, you see these little bits here. There's a lot of glue. My glue's a bit hot, I think, so it's coming out a bit fast today. But these little bits here are great for just popping the flowers onto. Okay, so I'm just going to turn them over and then they can dry easier. Without sticking to everything else. Just pop. That's coming out quite a lot now. Right. Move that one because there's a lot of glue that has fallen out. I don't want it sticking to the paper. Okay, so while I'm just letting those dry, I'm going to pop those back so I don't lose them. I'm going to bring this in and I'm just going to add some little bits of glue, not a lot, if my glue will allow me, and I'm just going to pop them down slightly. Doesn't matter if it overlaps a little bit because the envelope's bigger. Anyway, look at the state of that glue now. That's must be the temperature in here, I don't know. Okay. And then that one can go there. What I did next was just put these in. I haven't glued that yet, just popping them in, have a little play, get them where you want them. You can stick glue in on there, but you can also just pop a little dimensional at the top. You can see I'm going to get really sticky at the moment. So just another dimension on, a little bit of glue on the stem. So this bit just gives it that little bit of height. And that one just go off over there a bit. Okay. So this one's going to come in the middle and it'll come in last. So this one just needs to go at the side, and that one you can overlap it a bit. You could stick these on with dimensionals as well, but I didn't on my first card, and I don't know whether you can see, they don't look as though they're totally flat. In fact, that one's not glued down very much at all. Let me put, rather than pulling them out again, I'm just going to add a dimensional to the flower head. So anyway, okay, and then we'll pop 3 little dimensionals onto this one. My fingers are so sticky at the moment because of this glue going everywhere, so just bear with me. So I want to pop that in. I've got a feeling I cut that one off before, but I don't think. No, do I want another bit of? That one could go straight down there, just to give it a bit of contrast in the front, bit of extra leaf. Okay, so that's, I'm not going to use those bits, don't need those ones. I am going to stick the glue lid back on so that no more comes out. Okay, so while we're leaving that just to finish drying, I'm going to move on to this, and I've got some white baker's twine. You only need a little bit. It's just to tie the ribbon together. And again, with the ribbon, you don't need loads. Cut it on an angle, you can thread it through. and then we can trim that off when we're ready. Okay, so in order to do this, you just need to tie this into a knot first of all. Okay, my delivery did come this morning. It's a new bed for Ruby, so it's just waiting now for me to sort it out. She's away on a Duke of Edinburgh silver expedition at the moment. They went yesterday. Of course, typically it rained yesterday, didn't it? So I think they've had good weather today, and tomorrow they're due to have good weather as well. So okay, so that's the little tag, and this is just stuck on also with a few dimensionals. You can pop the ribbon. You might want to cut it down slightly. You can just okay, you can just pop it under slightly so it's not stuck up. We'll glue this into the middle. Typically, now that I want the glue to come out, it isn't. So there's plenty on there. Okay, and then I just use these strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. They're really pretty. I use these. There's some that are whiter with gold. Then I think these must be the pretty in pink, but I thought they looked really nice anyway on there. Strawberry slush is the darker ones. So I've put 5 on that one. You can put as many as you like, really. I'm just gonna pop some just to pop some around. Okay. So that is yeah, my card. It's like an envelope of flowers, I suppose. Just using, I don't know how they did it in the, I think in the catalogue they've done it as like a more of a box, so it stands out more. But I thought, well, you just want a little pocket really, just to fold them in behind and make that envelope looking effect. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that, and giving you some more ideas for the banners and for this stamp set. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care all. Bye.